groups of people that invaded the British Isles, and do them in order. Yep. Good. Good. Okay, and they were in order on the blackboard. There was another group, Kelly, and put that group in there someplace, and tell me who they were and what they did. There's another group that invaded. They're not on the blackboard. Good. How long were they there? Anyone help her out? About how long? Yes? Anyone else? No. About 400 or 500 years. They left some records. They built some walls. They moved people around a little bit. They isolated some of the groups that were living there. Was anyone there before the Celts, Jason?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Well, we call them the Druids. They didn't leave a record. They didn't leave anything that was written. They did leave something behind that we still see today. What was that? Stonehenge. And they are ruins. Any questions about those groups?
Kind of like what I said before in the previous tab. This one, it's very fast paced with teacher and student dialogue back and forth. The teacher is picking on a lot of different students throughout the classroom, so making sure that as the interpreter, being able to identify that this person's speaking now, someone different is speaking, and maybe there's a name sign associated with each person or something so that the deaf person knows who is speaking. Another thing that I noticed is a lot of the students had their eyes down and writing as they were listening to the teacher. So allowing, holding information so that my student can write is important as well.
Anyone? Okay, good. Let's take the next one down then, as long as we're in that. Tell me about William the Conqueror. I want to know all about him and what did he do? And what is he basically responsible for? Jason.
He was with the Normans and he conquered England.
Right.
In about 1066.
Okay. Did he accomplish anything else? Is there anything else about William the Conqueror that we should know besides the fact that he took over England in 1066? And he came from where, by the way?
Normandy.
Yeah, France, right? Normandy. Did he do anything else? Jessica. Good. He took.
Another thing that I would do as well is making sure that when the teacher is requesting an answer from the students, to do a hand wave or some type of gesture so that my student knows that there's a question being asked and they're expected to participate, to try to engage my student more.
Mrs. Waterstrom, Joshua Snow, to Mrs. Waterstrom.
He took the group of people that were living there.
There was just an announcement, I think. The teacher wasn't talking, but there was a voice, and it wasn't captioned. So I would interpret that so that my student knew what was going on, just in case like one of the students got up and left and they wanted to know why. I could say, oh, there was an announcement saying that they needed to go to the office.
Were they? He took no. Celts have been pushed away now. Who did he take? Jessica, I keep going back to you because I want you to say it. The Anglo-Saxons. He mixed them with the Normans, and out of that mixture of their languages came English. Maybe not as we know it, but certainly English. Any questions about that? And he was from? Normandy, France. Okay. Well, how far is that from England, TJ, without pulling down the map? 90 miles. Not a bad guess. Let's take a look. Normandy's on this coast, between Great Britain and the coast of France is the English Channel. At its closest point, about 20 miles.
The teacher just pulled down a map, and he's pointing and talking at the same time. So that could be a challenge for the interpreter, especially for me since I'm terrible at geography. Knowing, if Normandy was here and this was here, like knowing where everything is, so that the deaf person had the proper perspective and the proper visual picture of the map as well.
Alright, well, not bad. Good. me have the map down. Gary, tell me all of the countries that occupy the British Isles. Right? Good. Good. Right? Help them out. Scotland. Okay. Scotland. England. All together called the United Kingdom. England. Wales is here. Scotland. Northern Ireland. And Republic of Ireland. Which one's in the United Kingdom?
There's a lot of country signs for European country signs, and I do not know those, so I would either have to do a lot of finger spelling on this, which I could get very far behind on this, so that could be a challenge for me in this assignment.
What color are they? Can you see the colors? Red. Second and pink. They're pink. Tell me about these little islands here. What are they called? Good. Shetland Islands. What happened to the Shetland Islands not long ago that we should know about? Right. Probably the largest in history. We don't hear too much about that. Why? A lot of the oil industry. Did it cause any environmental problems? Chances are it did. It killed a lot of the sea life. Okay. Any other questions on the map? Take a good look at the map. There is a section on the skill part that has a map. Looks like this. Just this part. Take a look at what borders water-wise the British Isles. English Channel, North Sea, Atlantic, again, English Channel to the south, North Sea to the east, and the Atlantic Ocean. So the north and west. All right, Dominique. Let's go on. Take 1 minute for thought. Give me the problem between Ireland and Northern Ireland. Wow, one in 1 minute. Getting 1 second. Start the story, Gary. Close. To the Romans.
There's a lot of terminology in this that I would not know the signs for, so before this assignment, before this class, I would make sure I got what he was talking about, like his lecture and his lesson plan for the day, and see the type of vocabulary that's going to be used, and I would look that up before class, so that I would be prepared and be able to know the signs of these, the different things that I don't know.
Conflicts against the Protestants. What's the problem? Yes?
They Northern Ireland belongs to England,
Okay.
and Ireland wants Northern Ireland to be a part of North Ireland, and I guess Northern Ireland wants to stay with England.
Well, the people living in Northern Ireland are Irish. If you were Irish, and you are, would you expect to be part of your own country? Would you expect to have soldiers walking down the streets? Why are soldiers walking down the streets?
Another thing, everything that the teacher says ends in a question mark. The majority of his lecture are questions, so making sure that the student knows that he's asking questions, when to expect answers, just figuring out that whole dynamic is important.
Yeah, they do each other in. Okay. Northern Ireland expected to be part of Ireland. However, there were Protestants living in Northern Ireland, and they realized that when Ireland became independent, that they would be outnumbered, greatly outnumbered by the Catholics. And for some reason, they didn't get along. That's what happens, perhaps, when you have a country whose religion is as important as the government. Is your religion as important as your government? What's your answer?
Yes.
Yes, it is, sure. What do we do with it, however? No? No, we don't. Jessica? We have the freedom of religion. What else do we have?
Another thing that I noticed is that the teacher's voice is very clear, but some of the students are kind of hard to hear in this video. So, as an interpreter, being able to listen and really understand what the students are saying is important too.
What else do we have? What don't you do in the morning when you're sleeping by? You don't say why? What do we do in this country? Our religion and our government. We separate. They're not one. They're separate. So that one doesn't or shouldn't influence the other. And therefore, we can come into a classroom today, and some of us are Catholic, some of us are Protestant, some of us may be could have a Hindu in here, could have a Buddhist in here, could have all these people, and we don't go at each other because we don't agree on our religion, right? The government and the religion are not so pushed together that we have that difficulty. Any questions about that? How long will it take to solve that problem? It looks that way, and that's something. Okay, any questions? Good. Go on. Oh, now the big one. Industrial Revolution. What happened? Justin. Okay. Can you repeat that one more time? Industrial Revolution means that machines began doing the work of hands. Does that eliminate all the people? No. What does it do? It just makes the person do what? Well, maybe less heavy work. Supervise the machine, run the machine. Was it easy? Not always. Was it easier than what they were doing? You bet. Okay. Where did the Industrial Revolution begin? And how did it spread? Where did it go next? Edward Slater. You have to give him a lot of credit. Built the machines, and then we began to do our own manufacturing. Any manufacturing to do with cloth. Give me the word. Good boy. Next round. Anybody? Questions? Oh, next word. Melissa, tell me about the word nationalize and to nationalize. When a government takes over a business. Give me an example. What kind of businesses do you think that the English government may run? Mining, railroads. They might control some of the North Sea. Maybe utilities. One big one that we are wrestling with here in the United States. We don't know what to do with it. The cost is out of control. Same. No, no, don't think of industry as something that you manufacture or pump out of the ground or mine. What are we trying to do for every citizen in the United States? Yeah. Health. Health. In England, you are taking care of, what did the book say? Free health care. Well, is there any such thing as a free lunch? Learn that right off the bat. Yeah. School. Yes. Okay. How do the English people pay for their health care? Taxes. Are the taxes enormous? Probably. The government runs the.
A good thing is the teacher is restating what the students are saying. So if the student says probably, he says probably. The student says oil, he says oil, and then makes a comment. So if I didn't hear the student and what they said, I can just wait and see if the professor or the teacher restates it. So that could be a strategy for me if I can't hear some of the students.
Healthcare. Who controls then the price the doctor charges you when you go to the doctor? The government. You think their doctors are as rich as our doctors? You think their hospitals are as well equipped as our hospitals? Why not? Well, do they want to take good care of you? They're probably just as well equipped. They just control the amount of money that the worker gets. Okay? Our doctors basically pay to themselves, right? How about the healthcare workers? Well, nurse. Okay, how does she get paid? Does she? socialized medicine then, is she? Who pays your mom's salary? What's your government check, do you think? The president of the Daycare Hospital. Good. Okay. So in other words, your mother's not being paid by the government. Yeah, right. She worked in daycare, however. Okay, that's not a government. You know anybody that's paid by a government? You know anyone that's paid by a government? Your dad. Me? Sure. Your dad's being paid by the what government? What government? No, no, not the Connecticut legislature. Who pays your dad's salary? Taxes do. What kind of taxes pay? You know? We talked about this before. No, not the state tax. No, no. That's it. Thank you. What is the local tax? What is the local tax? State tax can be an income tax and a state tax. No, that's sales tax. No. I'm not looking at a percentage. We talked about this before. We live under three governments: the federal government, the state government, and the local government. Am I right? Okay. If you live under the federal government, and we all do, how do they get the tax money? How do we pay it? What do you call that tax? Thank you. The income tax. We all live in the state of Connecticut, and in Connecticut there are two kinds of taxes. You just named one. You said 7%. What is that 7%? It's a sales tax, and then you pay a state income tax. You hardly know. You pay a state income tax. Okay. Now you live in a local. We all live in Putnam. No. What kind of a tax do we pay here? Thank you. Property or real estate tax, and that's what pays for dad and me. Who else is paid under that? Well, in the town, what other agencies? Fires, they get some money from, but they are all volunteers. They're all volunteers. Yeah. Town workers, sure. Municipal building down here on Church Street, town hall workers are all paid. The mayor. Go ahead. The mayor's paid that much. Okay. I want to talk about a monarchy, and you tell me what a monarch is.